Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, November 21st, 2025, and if you were holding your breath yesterday, you can finally exhale. The AI bubble has officially not burst. We are coming off a massive session on Thursday, November 20th, where one company essentially put the entire global economy on its back. Today, we are breaking down Nvidia's blockbuster Q3 earnings, the massive relief rally sweeping Asia and Europe, and the latest inflation data from the UK. Plus, we have to talk about the crypto correction. Bitcoin is sitting at a critical level after falling from its October highs. And finally, a stark warning from European leaders about the end of global supply chains. Let's dive into the numbers. First, let's look at the scoreboard. Yesterday, November 20th, started with a lot of anxiety. The US markets had closed lower on the 19th, with the Dow Jones shedding nearly 500 points and the Nasdaq down over 1%. Investors were terrified that the AI trade was dead. But then, the numbers dropped, and the mood shifted instantly. As of the close of trade yesterday and early trading today, UK's FTSE 100 surged 0.77% to hit 9,579. Germany's DAX rallied 1%, climbing to 23,402. France's CAC 40 jumped 1.1% to 8,044. In Asia, the reaction was explosive. Japan's Nikkei 225 roared back, up 2.6%, and Taiwan's market, home to TSMC, jumped 3.6%. US futures are pointing to a massive green open this morning. The fear gauge is down, the risk-on trade is back. Why? Because the king of AI delivered. Let's talk about the event that saved the market. Nvidia's Q3 fiscal 2026 earnings. For months, bears have been saying that AI demand is slowing down. Remember the panic back in January caused by the DeepSeek sell-off? Well, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang just put those fears to rest. Here is the official data released yesterday. Total revenue. Nvidia reported a staggering $57.01 billion for the quarter. That beat Wall Street's expectation of $54.9 billion and is up 62% year-over-year. EPS. They posted $1.30 diluted, beating the forecast of $1.26. Data center revenue. This is the number that matters. It came in at $51.2 billion. But markets trade on the future, not the past. Nvidia's guidance for Q4 is a mind-blowing $65 billion in revenue. Jensen Huang didn't mince words in the earnings call. He said, quote, "The AI ecosystem has entered a virtuous cycle and is scaling fast. Cloud GPUs are sold out." He also confirmed that the demand for the new Blackwell chips is off the charts. If you were worried about an AI winter, put on your shorts because it is heating up again. While tech is partying, the macroeconomic picture remains complicated. In the UK, we got some relief yesterday. CPI inflation dipped to 3.6%. While this is still above the 2% target, it's a sign that the aggressive rate policies are stabilizing prices, even as the government under Chancellor Rachel Reeves navigates a tricky fiscal landscape. However, the geopolitical backdrop is darkening. We are seeing the real-world impact of the new US tariffs. Japan and Switzerland have both reported economic contractions in the last 48 hours, directly linked to a slump in exports to the US. Maros Sefcovic, the executive vice president of the European Commission, made a chilling statement yesterday. He declared that the era of secure global supply chains is over. This is a major signal for investors. If you are holding companies dependent on frictionless global trade, you need to be careful. The Trump tariffs are biting, and global leaders are now openly admitting that the old way of doing business is gone. Expect more volatility in shipping and logistics stocks. Now, let's shift to crypto. While equities are rallying on Nvidia news, the crypto market is still finding its footing after a rough week. Bitcoin, as of the last close, Bitcoin was trading around $89,440. To put this in perspective, we are down about 3.6% in the last 24 hours. The context, remember, we hit an all-time high of $126,272 back on October 6, 2025. Since then, we've seen a nearly 29% correction. The market is currently testing support at the $90,000 level. The Nvidia rally should help liquidity flow back into risk assets like crypto, so watch for a bounce today. Ethereum is also struggling, trading down 3.5% at roughly $2,988. It hit a low of roughly $2,870 yesterday, levels we haven't seen since July. The Trump trade in crypto that took us to $100,000 earlier this year has cooled off. The market is looking for a new catalyst. With the stock market going risk-on, again thanks to Nvidia, we might see that correlation kick back in over the weekend. So here is your cheat sheet for today, Friday, November 21st, 2025. Nvidia is the king. They beat earnings and crushed the bear case. The AI trade is alive and well. Global rally. Expect U.S. markets to open significantly higher, following the lead of Europe and Asia. Macro warning. Be wary of export-heavy economies as trade war impacts are showing up in GDP data. Crypto watch. Bitcoin is at a discount relative to its October highs. Watch for a relief bounce if the stock market holds its gains. Next step for you. I want you to look at your portfolio and check your exposure to semiconductors versus logistics. One is booming on demand. The other is breaking under geopolitical stress. Let me know in the comments. Do you trust Nvidia's $65 billion guidance? Or is this the final top? Don't forget to like and subscribe for tomorrow's update. I'll see you on the charts.